myself Ankita Tiwari from LG Institute of Engineering Technology from IT ICT department. I'm going to take a session from the subject Cybercrimes and Mitigation. The subject code is 3163213. Module that we are going to cover is module 3. Module name is Firewalls. The topic that we are going to cover in this session is Linux host-based firewalls, in that UFW and GUFW. So basically we are going to have the same, that is Linux host based firewalls, but in the last lecture we have done IP tables. Right now we will be doing UFW and GUFW. Okay, starting with the word, first of all, initially the same thing, firewalls. Now, a set of programs residing on a gateway servers that protect the resources of an internal network is called a firewall. Now, a network device or an host that connect two or more networks is also being protected in the firewall. So basically a device which is able to monitor each packet to determine whether to forward it towards its destination or whether to stop it. So this is what a device is. Now, a device which is able to evaluate packets with the objective to control, modify and filter network traffic. This is the very important point that to discuss. A device which is able to evaluate what packets, which is, we can say that with the objective to control, to modify, to filter network traffic and many things. So basically this is what the firewall is. A firewall, we know that it's a wall between your system and the internet, which allows, which stores or which protects your system from packet coming into the out into the system and from going out to the system. So basically it protects and it removes all the unwanted traffic that we are not needing it. So this is what the thing a firewall does. Now with respect to that, we will start with our topic, that is UFW. Now what is UFW? The name UFW is used for program. It is a program for managing a net filter firewall. Basically it is also a firewall itself, but we have different types. So here UFW is basically, it's a program for managing a net filter firewall. Now what is the description part? This program is for managing a Linux firewall and aims to provide an ease to use interface for the user. So basically this is a program for managing a Linux firewall and it provides an easy to use interface for the user so that the user can easily use it. The UFM is a simple front end to IP tables that makes it easy to block and allow the ports and have persistence across reboots. So basically it's easy to use a system where the IP tables we are having in the form of tables where the rules set is being defined, but here we can block and allow the ports that have persistence across the report. So this is what the thing that we can do in UFW. So basically we will be seeing what the UFW commands are. So the UFW, we have enable, disable, the two things. Here we are using the command prompt, the command line arguments. We are using it because it's a Linux based. So here we are using the command line arguments with the different types of commands. So here UFW, enable, disable. First of all you have to enable it, disable it. Then we have default, allow and deny. That means default means everything is allowed or everything is denied. Then we have UFW logging on and off, means if you are logging into the system, from that till you are logging off, every activity is being saved in the firewall. So that thing that you have to on and off. Then we have UFW status, which will give the status of the system. Then it will give the UFW, which will allow any particular port or protocol. So basically it will allow or deny particular port or protocol. And also we have UFW, which allow or deny protocol from some address with port number to that address to the port number. So we can have a list of addresses with port number in order to allow or deny it. So this facility is also there that we are having it. Then UFM, we have different options available which have some meaning. So we'll start with the first one, that is version. So here the version shows program's version number and exit. Then H, that hyphen H is like help, that shows help message and exit. Then we have dry run, that don't modify anything, just show the changes. It will not modify modification. It will not do the modification into the system. It will just show you the changes. Then we have enable, which reloads firewall and enables firewall on boot. So basically, this is a property which enables the firewall. Then disable, which unloads the firewall and disables the firewall on the boot. Then we have default. Default is a very big word. Default, allow or deny, will change the default policy for the incoming traffic, which is already there. And note that the existing rules will have to be migrated manually when they're changing the default policy. Basically, it will, when you are changing manually all the details, and it will be reflected into the system. So this is what the default allow and deny is. After that, we have a logging. Now logging on and off, that toggles logging. Okay, that means it will into the on means it will on all the procedure. That means it will take all the details when you logged in, and what you have done, everything. And logging off means it will not do all the it will not take a note of it. Then we have status, that shows status of the firewall, whether it is on and off, and UFW will manage the rules. And then we have allow rule, allows rule, that is the rule syntax. Okay, that means rules. Then we have deny rules, that we have to see for the rule deny rules syntax. Deny means rule set itself. Then we have delete, that allow and deny rule that deletes the corresponding allow deny rule that you have defined already. So these are the different options UFW that we have. Then the which commands are there in order to have it. First of all, when we have to check for the status of inbuilt firewall, we have to write UFW status. Then to set the default settings of the firewall, we have to write UFW default allow or deny. That means you want to allow the proxy settings, then also it is okay, or you want to change it, then you have to deny it. Okay, then you have enable and disable the firewall, then UFW enable or disable, anything, any one thing. Then to allow traffic from a particular IP, that is rules, then UFW allow from the IP address itself. Okay, so this is what the thing that we have to do. Then we have to allow specific port, then UFW allow or deny that port number, specific port number. Example I've already given, that is 80 suppose. Then if you want to delete a rule, then UFW delete allow deny port number, whatever you want to delete, so that port number you can apply it. So this is what different commands you can write in the command line arguments in order to have all this access. Then we have, if you want to allow traffic from a particular port of an IP rule, then UFW allow from a particular port number to a particular IP address to port number. See, API, I have given an example also. Now we'll see how this works. So basically we are having UF examples. Okay, that means suppose if I want to allow port 53, how we have to write UFW allow 53. Then if I want to delete allow, that is port 53, then UFW delete allow 53. Allow means it will allow to delete that port. Then we have allow port 80, so you have allow port 80 TCP. Then delete allow 80, UFW delete allow 80. Okay, then allow port SMTP, then UFW allow SMTP. Okay, so these are different examples that I'm showing you. Then suppose we want to delete allow port SMTP, then delete allow port SMTP, directly we can write it. Allow from particular IP, then allow from that particular IP. Okay, then delete the above rule. Suppose I want to delete the above rule that I have already defined. That means UFW delete allow from that IP address itself that I have used in the last example. Then these are the things that we can do in the UFW, which are the command line arguments. Now we'll start with the GUFW. Now GUFW, from the word itself, graphical, which is replacing the command line argument. So basically, if you feel that the terminal way in you are writing the commands is a bit annoying, then you can use the graphical way of the settings. Now, but for that you have to install another tiny package that is naming GUFW. How you can install it? That is apt-get install GUFW. This is the command line argument that you have to give, and this GUFW will be installed in your system, in your Linux based system. Now if I want to use it, that install .deb package also using the following command, that time only you have to install this package also. with this command line argument that I have already given here. Okay, so this is what, first of all, this is the thing that you have to install GUFW in your system, and with this file library, that package, you have to install it with this GUFW itself. Then only then you can get the access to it. So basically, these are the installing part. Why we are using GUFW? Because the terminal part that you are writing all the command, that you have to remember everything, like input forward, delete forward. Then if you want to allow anything, so forward that keyword is from destination. Basically it is very easy, but then also if it's annoying, you have to keep in mind everything. Then you can use this software itself, which is included in this package. We have to install it and we can use it directly. So basically when we are starting with the GUFW, so that thing comes in our mind with the installation part, with the package part. Now when these two things are done, then what we have to do, see, this is the file. When you have installed it, this will look like that. Okay, this is the status, where firewall we have status on and off, incoming. Incoming, we have to deny it, what to deny it, what to allow it. So both the things are defined. That is, incoming also is defined with the allow and deny, and outgoing is also defined with the allow and deny rules. So basically both the things are being set in your system, and both the things are will be installed here with the different parameters that you can use it. So basically these are the two things that you have to do it. Now once it opens, that means once it is opened, that screen, then you should see similar to the following screen here, which is need to click on the checkboxes next to the firewall enable. Means if you are enabling firewall, okay, that means as you can see the enabled sign, see that tick mark is there, firewall enabled. It means this is enabled. Now we are having different options, the allow option, the deny option, and in allow we have different options. So basically when we are having a new rule set, then we can add a new rule to the system. Also the current configuration which are already there also we can allow, and also we can deny it. Okay, this is the very big advantage that we have to have an access to it. Now if you want to use the allow all incoming traffic, you should see a similar to the following screen. Means if you are allowing it to the same configuration which is already there, then current configuration you are allowing it with the enabled part itself. If the firewall will be disabled, it will not be active. So this is what the screen it will look like. So when the enabled will be there, if you will be allowing the allow part to the current configuration, it will be allowed, everything will be allowed to the system. So this is what the thing will be visible. Now, if you will select the deny incoming traffic with the simple configuration screen, then it will look like that. Means deny incoming traffic. Okay, that means it is denying it with the enable part itself. Enable should be there, okay, for both the things. So deny it incoming, this is the default configuration, current configuration which is already there, and you are denying it. Okay, so this is what the thing is when you will deny it. Okay, after that we have some pre-configured port options. Now if you want to define a rule set, okay, denying it all the incoming traffic or outgoing traffic, so that part will be done. Now after that we are having or add a new rule set. Means I can add a my rule set itself. So here I am having allow and deny. Now here in allow, as you can see, so many protocols are defined which I want to allow it or which I want to deny it. HTTP, FTP, SSH, anything, SMTP, anything. So here these are the rule set which you can click it and you can allow it. So these are the things we can do it with the help of like this. As you can see here, I have allowed, and I have set an example. I have given an example like allow SSH. Okay, so this is what the thing, and see here that there is a list of it. TCP is allowed. Okay, so these are the things we can do it, and this is very easy because it's graphical. You can see it, you can do it by reading it as it's a human readable form. So basically this is what a GUFW. Now GUFW, it's a graphical UFW which was in the form of UFW was in the form of terminal where we are writing all the commands, but here we are having in the form of software package, we are installing it and we are using it. Both are doing the same thing itself, protecting the system itself. So which system? The Linux based system. So this is what Linux based firewall with the concept of UFW and GUFW. So basically we will be doing these things, and in the next topic we will be covering with the next topics. Okay, so here we have done Linux based firewalls with UFW and GUFW. Thank you.